Well, it's the 1st of August, 2015, and I just finished getting everything back in. You can see how I got that foundation in back under. And this is the end that I had to cut a piece off of. And so we're looking all right now. Well, it's the evening of the 31st, and I got the wall back up. Now, it's not up to where it can stand any pressure or put any dirt behind it, but the wall is there. Now, what I'm going to have to do is put some ribs up here on it and so forth and get it back in shape. And then what I'm going to do is put a little footing under it, onto this front edge before I dare put any more dirt behind it. Because it collapsed once before, so I'm not going to let it do it again. So, anyway, what did that cost me? 3 days? 3 days setback. But it's not too bad. And it's not so much just a 3-day setback. I realize now that I need to put foundations all around on the inside. Yeah. Okay, after sitting here and thinking about this, what to do, I have figured it out. Now, think this through with me. See, the problem is, what if this wall, gets wet or something, and it starts to push this way and give us a problem because of the compression of the dirt around it might undermine the foundation or the bottom part of this, as it did right here. Now, that's kind of a warning shot. So, remember I was talking about, well, I'm going to put big old concrete foundations here and over there. Don't know what I'm going to do over there. Well, you don't need to do that, because you think about it, usually the simplest thing that you can think of, if you can think of it, usually that is the solution. And the solution is, if this thing gets enough pressure because the dirt gets wet or something like that, and it starts to push these walls in, it's going to push in the bottom. It's pretty rare it's going to push in the top, but the pressure is going to come from the bottom. So what you got to do is keep the bottom from moving, if that should happen, which it shouldn't, but if it does, you got to keep the bottom from moving this way. Well, how do you do that? Well, you got to put something against the bottom on this side to push back that way so that it can't move. So you follow? Now, so what can you do? Now I've got these cross members over here, and there's one under here. And so what I'm going to do basically is put cross members across, like here and here, instead of just at the 8-foot marks, but here and here, all the way across, and put a header up on the front here so that it pushes both against this top plate and this one here. Now, what that'll do is there is pressure on the other side from the dirt. There's pressure on this side from the dirt. So if one of these decides it wants to move, if you can just, through the floor, put some 4x4s down so that in order for this one to move, this one's got to move, but it's got to move that way. And vice versa, if this one wants to move, it's got to move, but that one's got to move that way. And it isn't going to move because there's so much dirt behind it. So the bottom line of all that is what you do is you put a 4x4 across, and put 2 or 3, put them about 2 feet, 3 feet apart, something like that. Maybe 4, well, anyway, something like that. And you basically tension the bottom that way so that this side can't move without moving that side. And that ought to fix it. Well, it's late in the evening, so I finished this up today. This is what I was talking about when I said we'll shore this up. You see, what I've done is put 4x4 across here and braced it against the bottom. And I've also added a 2x6 on both sides. And the reason for that is so that I cover both the 4x4 that's the foundation and the sill plate that these things are all screwed down to. That way it'll hold them both back, and it'll work out just fine. Now that should do it. and that's the solution. So I got to do this all the way across on all the frames going up, and it's a simple thing to do, but it ought to work just fine, and it ought to work as good as putting a big old cement foundation down there. Probably better. It's the 3rd of August, and this is great news. We had a lot of rain overnight, and it rained practically all day today, and I was very worried that I'd have another cave-in, because there's dirt on both sides piled up, and with the dirt getting extremely wet, and I don't have it properly braced yet, there was a good possibility that one of the walls along the floor might be pushed in by the wet, soaking wet dirt. Well, it didn't. So this is great. You can see there's a little puddle of water right in the middle, so we had a lot of rain. Now I can't get down in there and do anything right now because it's muddy. But it is standing, and unless something settles a little later on tonight and caves it in, I think we're good. I think we're good now. And this is going to work. This is definitely going to work. So cross your fingers until later on in the morning tomorrow, and this might be good. And then have to let it sit for a couple of days now because it's too muddy to get down there. But I think we're going to work. This is going to be all right.